but we are always eager to display hizo nini, you know, those international brands. But unajua, it shows how our brains ziko penetrated na the West, I don't know what to call them, hegemonies, so that they have made those things to have like what you call a snob appeal, so ukiwa nayo now you feel like you are complete, like ushafika. Yeah. So it means, what that means is that we can never develop our own products, you know. So that's what it means, like, because our elites, they are constantly attracted by what's in the West. So that's what you always pata like mtu ana promote like a Kenyan brand, that kama they are doing that just for silly patriotic reasons, but they don't mean it from their heart.
Because when I think about Sonko was representing Nairobi, and in Nairobi we could appreciate his even Louis Vuitton. Nonga kuna siku aliva Louis Vuitton. But Elgeyo Marakwet, I know he's a CS, but still that average Elgeyo Marakwet person, do they even know what Gucci is?
They don't know what Gucci is, and that's the sad bit. And like I don't know what to say, but you know, like the minister you've mentioned, Murkomen, I think it's the same guy I've seen being accused, like tangu kwa ministers, jila lazima aendeshe jina magari ka ngapi, lazima, like a lot has changed since he became a CS.
Ata watch
zenye anavaa and all that. Maybe ashafika, it's their time.
But cause kile na nini vile nimekwambia tumedigress kidogo. Kuna I've had these conversations with a lot of people and they keep saying the same thing, that in Kenya politicians are superstars and they're celebrities. And I'm starting to get that feeling, because you see, a rapper wearing Gucci or a watch makes sense. It's supposed to be flashy. A CS, you understand? Like saizi niko sure tukienda kwa internet to search an American MP wearing Gucci, hatuta get an American senator or congressman, you won't get, and that's America. Tuende Europe, you won't get. But Africa, I'm sure you're going to get like a lot of clowns.
No, ilianza kitambo, like, you know, even Mercedes, like Mercedes-Benz, in the 70s, you know, in Europe, like when you go to Germany, people don't buy Mercedes. Mercedes natumika maybe kwa taxi and all that, because they prefer public transport, they prefer vehicles that are fuel efficient. So I understand in the 70s, Mercedes even had a strategy to sell their cars to the African political class. And that narrative has always been there, like in the West, when they make those like big cars, Nini, they're targeting the big men in Africa, because big men in Africa are so easy to impress upon. I was laughing how her president was there on juzi akisema, hatutaki kuenda majuu, tubebe na mabas. They like that shit, man. Like wanapenda, like they like
being disrespected.
You know, like the way people go to the UN. I was in New York and wapatanga sijui minister amebeba wife zake wako huku wanabuy tu vitu hapo Manhattan, and I used to go to those stores, man. Ulampata tu nguzi kuku tu hata ni mbaya, lakini juu hiyo kitu umeibuy America, you feel like yani sana nishabuy kitu ya. So it shows how we're brainwashed. But you see, that's why you see when these ambassadors, they come here and they're always quoting these people, unakuja upewe magari poa, upewe nguo poa. Like they know once you've impressed upon an African politician, they can even sell the whole country to you.
Alafu nini, you kitu besema jia, they're impressed by expensive things. I don't know if you heard about this experiment. There is a time a bunch of very wealthy women were picked up and then they were taken into some random store. Your store wakadanganywa ni high end. And they were being told like, this shoe is $2,000. And they were like, oh, this is quality. Till they were told, I think it was Target, it was one of those lower end. Wakambe like, by the way, hizi vitu ni ini kitu tukwambia $2,000, this one is $50. Hiki tulikwambia ni $1,500, this one is $20. But it's just the human brain.
Yeah, that's how it is. To the minute I like, I used to walk into those stores in Manhattan, natembea. So I'm like, but I can buy better things in Nairobi than this, and they're priced. But you see, to an African, especially the elite, miwambia wase, hapa Kenya, for example, kuna watu wanaishi hizo mamudhaiga, hizo maloresho. They're not even in Kenya, like, they are only physically, but mentally, what they're watching, ni vitu za wazungu, maji wanakunywa, nguo wanavaa, like, they hate everything that has to do with Africa. Yotu ni mtutumwa kajake, tu niangie tu maybe Kamoli, vitu Rivers, arudi tu kwao. So, like, hata ishi Kenya, like, they have nothing to do with the Kenya completely. And that kind of brainwashing, you know how colonialism worked. Like the first people when the British left, kuna wale watu walikuwa wamecoach founding president Nini. You remember like Njonjo, like you can call that like the Njonjo.
Njonjo, like we mentioned it here.
That is the Njonjo mentality, where you don't like anything that is African. And you only feel good when, you know, so that's the situation. So kuna kitu hapo muuliza juu ya nani? Murkomen.
Yeah.
Unajua kitu moja in realize, for example, something about fashion. Mi mazee ubaingi vitu expire mazee, lakini navaa napata tu nakaa kama vile nakaa.
Yeah.
Na kuna msana zendo kutu gikomba tu mazee achukue tu mitumba yake mazee na adunge mazee na kunyoroshe. Unaona? So it's not about of course the big brands matter. But as you are saying, like in a place kama America, like wala watu tuvaa tu suti and they just look decent.
Yeah.
So brand by this inakuanga tu ni za for someone who's like extremely brainwashed. It's something that you should indulge in when you can afford and when it's necessary, but it's not like something now that becomes an absolute necessity.
Murkomen is in his 40s. That's number one. Murkomen is intelligent. Like if I was to put Murkomen and Sonko, I'd expect, you know, who is mentally superior. Understand? One is financially superior, the other one is mentally superior. And as a mentally superior person, I think in your 40s, you should have outgrown Gucci, this crap. This is... I say this as someone who used to rap. I come from the background of damn shit.
I remember those days. Yeah, but to correct you, hakuna tofauti atoa wawili. I think that one is just eloquent and was maybe smart in class. But the mental composition ya watu wawili hakuna tofauti kabisa. Like the political class in Africa, yule chokora mwenye ni mayor na president, that's why they eat from the same table. Hakunanga tofauti kabisa because, and this is what really like annoys me, an African can go and study in Harvard, but it still come back and utasikia tu akisema some very damn shit. Ama utapata bado ndo umeshikwa kwa corruption scandal. So hakunanga tofauti kabisa.
I think even that's why naniali to vile nakwambia sasa tumedigress kabisa but tutarudi. That's why this other guy alishtua watu sana. Njoroge, this Njoroge who was the CBK guy. The one who even I think is he celibate ama what? Ama he has to live a life where he has these principles that he follows.
He's an Opus Dei. And he's basically a Catholic priest. The Catholic, they have that thing they call Opus Dei, where you can be married. I think he chose not to marry. You know. So the likes of Kinanjeroge, those now are like now the rare breeds. So watu kama wale zata kuna wase kwa gavu bweka na watu kama wale sana
like kwa nini unafanya kazi?
Like they really hate that. So wale tu ni outlier. But generally hapa Kenya and in Africa, when you get in, your aim is to eat. Na mimi nasemanga like it's possible to eat and still work. But hapa we are so fixated with only eating and no work. So unajua country kama Singapore, those Asian tigers that keep on talking about Korea and all that. Kitu moja watu wajuangi where they are developed is America was trying to fight communism in Asia. And they invested a lot in them. And when Singapore, the South Korea was sending people to America, those guys went to America, they borrowed the technology, they borrowed the right things. But hapa Mwafrika maza akienda akisoma akirudi, even becomes dumb and dumb. Ama wale wanapata like they're intelligent, they never get a chance to serve and do the right thing. Unaona?
Because I think also it's because vile musa like the average Kenyan is questionable.
Like, across the world by the population sasa zinakuanga vile unapatanga kuna like kama Kenya watu kuna degree unadhani watu ngapi? So 1 million people in 1 million out of a population of 50 million people.
Na hata nikisema joy questionable simaanisha hata degree. Na maanisha kitu kama saa hizi there's someone somewhere vile tumecriticize Murkomen wearing Gucci shoes, yeye atasema sisi ni haters. Alafu apart from kusema sisi ni haters, atasema we are anti-UDA. To me all these clowns muitaga nani pia niko na feel like he was too flashy, but with him it's cars I understand, like we are a man, a car will mean easier to get sex. But Joho to me was too flashy, you understand? So this is across all divides, like we have a bunch of clowns running things. Homa Bay ulisikia they used 200 million shillings on tea. 200 million shillings on tea in 5 years. Mna kunywa chai gani? But if I was to have ni have your statement peke yake kuna mseta kuwa offended atafikiria now I'm pro UDA. Like that's what now I'm talking about. Like tumekuwa brainwashed so much that we can't see, like if this guy was not wearing Gucci shoes before he became a CS, salary ya CS yati imechange sana na MP. Is the difference that big that you used to wear shoes at 20k, now you're wearing shoes at 100 over 100,000 2,000 300,000 shillings?
Kitu watu wengi hawezi elewa is we're not criticizing the wearing of the Gucci, but the idea that represents you're a minister, you come from one of the most poverty stricken areas in the country, an area that a lot has to be done, like all that banditry, either cattle rustle zikuku juu, that's basically a product of poverty. And now you are in power, you have a chance to do the right thing. But now when you are fixated na vitu kama hizo like fashion, Gucci, manini, all that says that you are not interested in solving the problems za watu wenye kuku chini. Ni kama wale mabudo unapatanga mtu ameneglect familia yake, baada kwa tu kwa bama za amekelea grand livet yake ya 20 years ndio ananyorosha. Like that's the same mentality that inatumika. Unajua it cuts across the political class. Na vile umesema sasa ikitu hata mimi in frustrating because ordinarily I identify as an Azimio guy, but miss mind like Ruto is my president as long as he's doing the right thing. So juzi nimeandika Facebook nikasema siku hizi hakuna mtu mazaa anaheshimu Kenya and more hapa East Africa, like Uganda, they no longer care about us, TZ. Like unajua kitambo ulikuwa mkapa kwa hapa kila siku Kikwete wanakuja. So when I asked that question nikasema sijajua foreign policy ya Ruto juu tangu ingia ataziona Museveni kama amekuja huku nini. So huku chini people thought like I was attacking Ruto because an Azimio guy, and this is a problem that has been there for like the last 10 from around 2010. Niliona heshima yetu imeenda ikishuka tu pole even kina Kagame they no longer come to Nairobi. So we have lost that big boy status. Because these are the countries unasikianga wao amechukua hiyo deal yao ya kupitisha mafuta huku kufanya nini. And I'm wondering like Kenya we're supposed to be like the big boys, like we should never lose that. We've been the leaders all. Unajua watu wengi mazao wajuangi like how big we are as I saw the other day like in Africa we're number 7. And we have the potential to go even up to number 3. Unaona? But now the guys in charge mazee, ukiona tu hata mamisa walichaguliwa mazee, Kuria akifungua mdomo mazee na bonga tumba kwa unasema guy man. So imagine you can never get far with that kind of nonsense.